Hello. This video is for IXL Activity 8.B.2. It is titled Graph Integers on Horizontal and Vertical Number Lines. The 3-character code for this IXL activity is LFR, Lima, Foxtrot, Romeo. So in this activity, we are going to be, graphing integers on number lines, and the number lines may be horizontal, that means going across, or vertical, they could be going up and down as well. This relates to lesson 1-4 in our textbook, where we're learning about putting integers in order from least to greatest or greatest to least, and a number line helps us do that. So first we start off with the first question, a good place to start, right? So it says graph 1 and -1 on the number line. So we need to find 0, right? So 0 is here. So we know that all the negative numbers are to the left of 0 and all the positive numbers are to the right of 0. So I'll go ahead and grab my pen here. In IXL, you'll just click and it'll put the dot on the line for you. So I'm looking for 1. Well, if this is 0 and this is 2, then halfway between 0 and 2 is 1. So positive 1 is right there. And -1, well, -1 is going the other direction, right? And we know that 1 and -1 are opposites. So this is probably a pretty good question to use because we can talk about absolute value and distance from 0. And we know that 1 and -1 both have the same absolute value. That means they're the same distance from 0. So therefore, this must be -1. So here's -1 and here's 1. You don't have to write the numbers on, I'm just writing them there. You just simply have to click on the graph there to place the dots to graph. Looking at the next question, we have a couple of vertical number lines. So for vertical, pretty much every time I've ever seen it, here's 0 here, so all of the negative integers are below 0 and all the positive are above 0. On the one on the right, 0's here, and you can see that we have +2, +4, and then if we go down, we have -2 and -4. So let's go ahead and do this one over here of -6 and -7. So as we start going down, we have -2, 4, well there's -6 listed right there for us, and then we would go one more to get to -7, because -7 is between -6 and -8. On the next one, again, we have two opposites. 3 and -3 are opposites of each other. Therefore, they are the same distance from 0. So if we go up 1, 2, 3, we'll find +3 here. And if we go down 1, 2, 3, we'll find -3 here. And that does seem right because -3 would set halfway between -2 and -4. On the next one, -16 and -6. So 0 is going to be over here someplace, right? 0 would be over here. We can't actually see it on the number line, so everything we have here is negatives. But yet that's okay because both -16 and -6 are negative numbers. So we have -4, -8, and so in between those two, halfway in between would be -6. And then we're looking for -16, and that one's actually marked for us. And we have -16 there. On the next one, we're looking to graph -20, -15, and -25. They are all multiples of 5, and you see that we're counting by tens on the number line here. 0, -10, -20, -30, -40, and -50. So we're looking for -15, kind of going from the greatest to the least. So -15 would be here, sitting halfway between -10 and -20. And then -20 would be right here, so I've taken care of that -20 as well. And then -25, well, that would set right here between -20 and -30. On the next one, we have a couple positive numbers, 1 and 4. Well, notice that 0's here and 5's here, so we must be counting by ones. So this would be +1, and this would be +4. and then -1. And we're still counting by ones. The increments are still the same. So -1 is going to be right here. Couple more vertical number lines. So here's 0 right here, right? So the positive ones are going to be above. The negative is going to be below. I see -9 down here. This helps me know that we're counting by each increment's a value of 1. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, and -9. So we need -1. -8 is going to come right before -9. And -7 would come right before -8. Looks like our zeros right here, so all positive numbers above, all negative numbers below. So I'm looking for positive 20 and positive 15. Well, this is 25, and I seem to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 increments between 0 and 25. So therefore, 25 divided by 5 is 5. So we're counting by 5s each time. So we go 5, 10, 15. So here's 15. And 5 more is 20. That makes sense because the next one would be 25. And if we're counting by 5s on the negative side, we start with -5. That would be there. And we know we're correct because -10, -15, -20, -25. On the next one, looking for, well, 0 is way up here someplace, but all the numbers are negative. Yes, so we're good to go there. I'm going from 8 to 18. And then I'll bet you there's 10 increments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the difference between -18 and 8 is 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So these should be increments of 1. We could double check. -8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So indeed they are increments of 1. So -8. Here's -9, -10. We'll skip -11 and go to -12. On the next one, we have our zeros right here. So all these numbers are indeed negative. So let's go ahead and look. We got 20 down here. Looks like there's 10 increments there, 10 hash marks, and the distance from one to the other is an increment. And so 20 divided by 10 is 2, so this must be counted by 2s. So -2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12. Oh, -12 is one of them. -12, -14, -16, and -18. And I've completed that one. All right, we got just a couple more here. And this one here, they're all negative again. And I see I have nothing but negative numbers here. So 0 is like way off over here someplace, right? These are all the negative numbers. And I have 12, -12. I should throw the negative in there. -12 to -22 is a distance of 10. And it looks like there are indeed 10 increments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm indeed counting by ones. So first one I'm looking for is -19. Well, let's do this. Here's -22. We could use another strategy. Instead of counting off from -12 going to lower values, we could just use this -22, and right before -22, we would get -21. -21 is greater than -22 by 1. And then here, this would be -20, and this would be -19. So there's all three of those right there. And then finally, for our last one, again, all three values are negative numbers. We're at 14, -14, and -24. This is a difference of 10. So, and it looks like there are indeed 10 increments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Indeed there is. So -14. And there we go, -15. One more would be -16. Now we need to go to the -23. Well, I could count these off, or I could just realize that -23 precedes -24 by 1. So my -23 would be here. All right, so That concludes all of my examples for IXL 8.B.2, where we graphed integers on horizontal and vertical number lines. Good luck with your activities.